Live with CDP Sports Talk, a weekly sports and entertainment podcast sponsored by Barry Cullen Chevrolet. Live on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, and LinkedIn. And on audio via Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, Spotify, Anchor FM, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, Radio Public, and TuneIn. Now, here's your host, Chris Palme.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Part 2, Season 10, Episode 48, overall 543 of Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show, sponsored by Barry Cullen Chevrolet Dealership at 905 Woodlawn Road West in the Guelph Auto Mall. Check out their website, barrycullen.com, for the newest selection of new and pre-owned GM vehicles, along with their great selection of all-electric vehicles and Cadillac vehicles as well. You can call the dealership at 519-824-0210 and tell them Chris Palme, a.k.a. CDP, sent you. And you can email them at info@barrycullen.com. Barry Cullen Chevrolet Dealership has been family-run and operated here in the city of Guelph since 1969, and yours truly has been a customer of Barry Cullen Chevrolet for the last 25 years. I hope everyone's doing well today on this I can't believe it's already Tuesday, May 27th, 2025. We've got a lot of sports going on in the world right now, and I'm looking forward to bringing my guest on shortly. Today's guest, this is his second appearance, and he's a friend of the show and a friend of mine, and he was on maybe about a year and a half ago, but his name is Keith McPherson. He's a radio host and personality on Sports Radio 66 WFAN in New York City, which was one of the, I think, the original sports station that started up in 1988, which I used to listen to on my AM radio here in Southern Ontario. So we're going to bring on Keith McPherson, and we're going to talk a little bit about the New York Yankees. Good afternoon, Keith. How you doing?
Oh, I think I was muted. I'm good. Yes. How are you? Good to see you again.
Hey, good to see you. Good too. I did a show 2 months ago with a gentleman from the St. Louis Blues, the PA announcer, and for 8 minutes I didn't realize I was muted, but we fixed it. We fixed it, and I got through it.
It happens. I'm on StreamYard a lot. You try to kill the background noise or turn your mic off when you're not talking, and then you forget to turn it back on when you speak.
It happens to the best of us, no matter how many years or how many episodes have you done. It can happen. Hey, Keith, I want to say thank you so much for coming on a second time. And I wanted to talk to you about the New York Yankees right now. They're obviously in first in the American League, 33-20. The Yankees have won 9 out of their last 10 games, and they defeated the Angels last night 5-1. And I wanted to get your thoughts on this 2025 Yankees team so far.
I was muted again. I'm liking this team. I put out a video before the holiday break where I was like, yo, Cashman's on a heater again. When you look at this team that he put together after losing the World Series, after losing Juan Soto, after people were saying, they're going to fall off, they're not going to be able to get back. Juan Soto powered them to the World Series. How do they make up his production? Garrett Cole is hurt. Stanton is hurt. Now you got Jazz Chisholm hurt. Luis Gil, the Rookie of the Year last year, hurt. This team's not going to be able to do what they did last year. Well, this team might be able to do what they did last year and some. The goal is to win more games, get to the World Series, have home field advantage, and win the thing. And when you look at guys like Paul Goldschmidt, who many people wrote off and said he was over the hill, he was too old at 37, that he was done. He's gotten right back to, the MVP form we've seen from him. Cody Bellinger has found it in this month of May after dealing with a back issue and food poisoning. Devin Williams has found it in this month of May after struggling, being booed, stepping out for paternity leave, giving up leads, blowing 4-run leads, and Yankee fans, chanting, "We want Weaver" while he's on the mound. He has turned his season around. And then last but not least, from the additions, as I call these guys, the National League All-Stars, Max Fried is looking like the Cy Young winner. Max Fried is making history with his start as a Yankee. So that is like, the additions in the offseason. Those guys didn't play with Juan Soto, and they've been great. But also the young guys that they're dependent on now, the Will Warrens of the world. His season turned around this month as well. Ben Rice has been a revelation. This kid is just able to DH. He played a little bit of first base last night. You also have Jason Dominguez finding it and doing things that wow you every week. Young Anthony Volpe, people want to see more from him. He basically won the game for the Yankees last night. Austin Wells, who was a star last year, kind of came up out of nowhere last year. We need him to get going. But you also factor in the Oswald Perazzas and Yorbit Vivas and even Oswaldo Cabrera, who was getting a chance to start every day before he got hurt. There is some youth in this Yankees team. There is some homegrown talent playing, and it starts with Aaron Judge. This Yankees team, you got to give credit to Brian Cashman and their farm system for the success that they've had this year with homegrown talent and the additions that they added in the offseason.
You haven't even mentioned Aaron Judge, who's having a triple crown type season right now.
Yeah, I mean, that's the great part about it. What I said is we have the best player in the game. We have a guy that might win the triple crown, probably wins the MVP, but they're not relying on him to save the day. A couple years back, it was Aaron Judge or nothing. This lineup is deeper. The pitching has gotten better. Carlos Rodon turned it around this month. Ryan Yarbrough, who pitched last night, I don't know where this guy came from. That's another Cashman find. Cashman always finds these guys that get casted off, that get DFA'd, and he turns them into something. So, yeah, I haven't mentioned Judge. It's almost like a given. Like, Judge is the best player in the game. He's on this team, but any night somebody can be the star. It was Volpe last night. It was J.C. Escarra 2 nights ago. J.C. Escarra was driving Lyft Uber, being a substitute teacher almost out of baseball. He's been solid. A couple days ago, it was the combination of Goldschmidt, Bellinger, even DJ LeMahieu. DJ LeMahieu, who people thought was absolutely done and cooked. He had 3 hits the other day. So there's a lot of depth on this team, and it's a great mix of veterans as well as young up-and-coming players.
Keith, I know you're not Brian Cashman of the GM of the Yankees. I know GMs, obviously, when they look for players or free agents, they want talent. But what other characteristics do the Yankees look for in these guys that come to New York?
Oh, they want to be Yankees. They want to play on the main stage. They revel in the spotlight and the pressure that comes with it. This is the hardest place to play. It is not for everybody. Earlier in this year, I thought that was the case with Devin Williams. I'm like, maybe he's not cut out for New York, but he found it. Cody Bellinger talked about wanting to wear the pinstripes. Obviously, his father, Clay Bellinger, did. Max Fried talked about when he was looking at teams and he was choosing, in free agency between the Red Sox, the Blue Jays, and then the Yankees came calling. It's the Yankees. And, he talked about taking a tour of the facility once he signed and knowing he made the right decision with the legends on the wall and the words written on the wall. I think Paul Goldschmidt's another one who played for the Cardinals, another organization that has done a lot of winning and has a deep history. He talked about going from the Cardinals to the Yankees. You got to want it, especially with all the conversation that came up this offseason about, the Yankees aren't the Yankees anymore. They lost the World Series. The pinstripes and Monument Park and all that history did nothing to sway Juan Soto. It doesn't mean anything anymore. Of course it means something. Of course it does. And I think that's what they look for in players. Do you have the talent? Yes. But can you play in New York? And do you know what it means to be a Yankee? Are you reveling in that? Or are you going to shrink in that and let the pressure get to you?
What was the Yankees fans' reaction with Juan Soto coming back to Yankee Stadium?
It was great. It was as expected, more so. I was in the bleachers when he came out to right field, and shout out to Mark, who leads the roll call, who told us weeks ago we should all just turn our backs. So we staged everybody turning their back. It was a great picture for social media, a great shot on TV, but he got heckled the whole weekend. I think he thought it was just going to be an initial booing. He was booed Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and there were, it was a different group of fans coming in all 3 days to get their pound of flesh and to let Juan Soto know, we don't agree with your decision. You could have been a Yankee. You got the largest contract offer out of anybody all time to be a Yankee, and you turned it down to stay in town. Well, we're going to show you what we think about that. And he didn't do anything in that series to lead the Mets to victory. He shrunk in that series, and I think he was overwhelmed by it. But yeah, we're off that now. We're on to, Anaheim, and we're on to the Dodgers coming up this weekend.
And you did stumble a little bit in Colorado, but you still won 2 out of 3. I got to ask you this. You brought in Max Fried. Did you think he would be as good as he has been so far? To me, the two best pitchers right now in the American League are Max Fried and obviously I'm a Tigers fan, Tarek Skudrow. So I just wanted to get your thoughts on Max Fried and the impact he's had on the Yankees with Garrett Cole being out for the year with Tommy John surgery.
I knew he was an ace. I know he's a champion. I knew he could throw the whole kitchen sink at you, but I didn't know if he would adjust to being a Yankee so fast. This is not Georgia. This is not the Atlanta Braves, even though the Braves have their own history of winning and pedigree and stuff like that. But man, he took to it right away. And especially with the pressure of, okay, Garrett Cole goes down. Now you got to actually be the ace of the staff. He's been phenomenal. I didn't want to give him that eighth year. I'm like, 8 years, but that's what you do to win the pitcher. And where would these Yankees be without Max Fried? They win when he's on the mound. He has been incredible to start his Yankee career.
Keith, being out of Toronto, I do cover the Blue Jays too. Obviously, I'm only an hour away from there. What's the latest with Marcus Stroman? Has he been hurt or injured or just not having a good year?
He's hurt. He didn't have a good start, but I honestly feel like they're slow playing it. He's a 10-year plus veteran. I think this is his 10th year or 11th year. And, his contract has a vesting option where if he pitches 140 innings, it'll lock the Yankees into paying him another year. They're not going to let that happen. They're not even going to let that come close to happening. They have found it with a young Will Warren. They found it with Ryan Yarbrough where they don't need Marcus Stroman. There was conversation about trading him in the offseason. That never happened. So Stroman's got a knee injury. He's been on the IL. He's supposed to be working back, but I know the Yankees are not in a rush for that. They're not in a rush. If they could trade him at the deadline, they probably would. He's almost become a non-factor. You kind of forget that he's even on the team. I wish him the best. If he can come back and help the team, great. But these guys are rolling, and they're not gonna make a big deal about Marcus Stroman coming back from his knee injury and rejoining this group.
Garrett Cole, obviously Tommy John surgery. Do they have the exact time frame that he could be ready by in 2026?
I think late next year. I think I heard that with the special kind of surgery that he got, he could be ready late 2026, like September, which would be awesome if he's able to pitch for a month, ramp up, and help this team in October.
Overall, what are your thoughts on the starting pitching in the bullpen? And do you feel Brian Cashman could add to your starting pitching or another bullpen arm before the trade deadline?
Yeah, I was on last night and I was reading from an article where Cashman said pitching. They're always looking to improve the pitching, a starter and somebody in the bullpen. I think they want to get another right-handed bat. So I would look for them to add a bullpen arm, a starting pitcher, a right-handed hitter that can play third base or be a utility guy. Cashman, I know, is working on it because if we go into the postseason tomorrow, it's Max Fried, it's Carlos Rodon, it's Clark Schmidt. You're probably not going to pitch the rookie Will Warren. You're probably not going to pitch Ryan Yarbrough, who is finding it as a starter, but he was an opener bolt guy. And he was, like I said, he was a scrap heap guy that Cashman found, and Matt Blake has turned him into something. But yeah, Cashman talked about pitching. They are going to try and improve the rotation and the bullpen.
What's the latest on Stanton? When is he expected back?
Soon. I don't know if they're going to have him do rehab games, but he's down in Florida. He's working out. He's progressing, and they do expect him to rejoin the team at some point. But right now, there's not too much room for him. You see Ben Rice DH, you see Jason Dominguez DH, and of course, Judge gets the DH day. So with Stanton, he's been taking live at bats. He's in Tampa at the facility, and they expect him to come back and do maybe a rehab assignment next week.
What's your overall assessment of Aaron Boone in this coaching staff so far in 2025?
Boone has made some questionable decisions with the bullpen. I think he does a great job with the lineup. I just worry about some of the in-game decisions. I worry about when they're going to pitch Luke Weaver or Devin Williams or Mark Leiter Jr. They've already blown some games early on in this year, but that was in April. I think as of May, they've been really solid with their decision-making, really solid with their lanes and what they're doing. And him and Brad Ausmus on the bench and Matt Blake, the pitching coach, and Mike Harkey. You just got to give them a ton of credit. They're even James Ross, and they're getting a lot out of these different players, and they're winning. They won 6 series in a row. They won last night. They win tonight. That's 7 series in a row. That's a hell of a month of May.
What's Aaron Boone's biggest strengths as a manager, in your opinion, Keith?
Oh, he's a player's manager. These guys love him. He's a former player, and he's young enough to relate to them, and he doesn't say a bad word about them. In the media, he has their backs against umpires. He's tried to tone that down a little bit, but like his biggest strength is that he is a leader of these young men. They relate to him. They respect him. They like him. They listen to his voice.
What are your thoughts on the Yankees farm system right now with some of these guys coming through the system as well?
There's a lot of hype around George Lombard Jr. I would say he's off limits. I'd say because the Yankees are always looking for pitching, they are going to mark some guys like Ben Hess or Cam Schlittler as off limits, but somebody's got to go. Somebody's got to get traded when this deadline comes. Maybe Spencer Jones, maybe some of these other arms. But yeah, there's mostly hype around George Lombard Jr., who is with the Somerset Patriots. I'm going to be there Friday to see the Somerset Patriots. He's playing shortstop. He's batting second. And the jump that he made from single A to double A, you can't notice. He's picked up right where he left off in single A.
Well, for many years, Keith, watching the Yankees, you always called them the Bronx Bombers. Do you find this team now is not so reliant on the grand slams and the 3-run home runs?
Yeah, they actually are manufacturing runs in a little different way in this last week. Singles, doubles, sac flies, working walks, running. They have some speed now on the base paths where it isn't just Judge hit a homer or, a 2-3 run homer. They've been able to pass the baton, and they've been able – guys like Goldschmidt, just, a single. Trent Grisham, finally. Trent Grisham was in a little bit of a slump, but he's finally starting to come out of it. He's been great this year. I haven't even mentioned him yet. Like when I was talking about all those other guys, he was the throw-in in the Juan Soto trade, and he's been an all-star at points this year for the Yankees. So, yeah, it is – and they have home run hitters. I think they're still high up there. They might have the most home runs in baseball because of Judge and some of the other guys. I'm pretty sure they do. But, they're not winning games by just the long ball.
Who else in the American League do you feel can compete with the Yankees? And thoughts on the rest of the American League East right now with Toronto, Boston, Tampa Bay. I'm not even going to mention Baltimore. And which one of these teams in the East matches up the best with the Yankees?
In the East, no one really scares me. The Baltimore Orioles are out of it. They don't have any pitching.
No.
We've seen Tampa. Tampa's playing in the Yankee spring training ballpark. They're just going to be around 500. We gifted them a couple games. Maybe Toronto, maybe Boston, but I don't really see that either. We were a little bit afraid of Boston because of the moves they made in the offseason, but they can't get out of their own way. I think the Yankees are going to win the East, and they're going to win it by a few games.
Toronto has a talented roster, and I've seen the Blue Jays play, but every time they try to get it together, then they have a setback. They just swept San Diego, and they dominated the Padres, and then they got swept by Tampa Bay, and then they went into Texas yesterday and beat Jacob deGrom 2-1. But to me, they're too inconsistent. And Boston, they can score runs, but I don't think they're quite ready. I do agree with you. This is the Yankees' division to win unless something catastrophic happens with New York.
Yeah, I think that they're going to win the division. They're potentially going to run away with it this summer if they stay healthy. I just don't see them not coming through with it. I think this is the plan, man. These guys lost in the World Series last year, and they're on a warpath to get back.
What are your thoughts on the Detroit Tigers, who are 35-20, and Seattle? Because I think those teams are going to be up there too. And I wouldn't even count out the Guardians either.
I mean, I always say about these baby Tigers, they picked up where they left off from last year. Knocking off the Houston Astros, which we all celebrated, ding dong, the witch is dead. They have a good manager. They have good hitters, good players, which you've been able to get out of Gleyber Torres, Javi Baez.
Yeah. Awesome.
Obviously, you already mentioned Tarek Skubal.
Yeah.
A complete game that he threw the other day. His last pitch, 103. He's a monster. They can scare you a little bit as far as getting into a series with them. the Yankees went to Michigan and lost that series, and it was only Max Fried that was able to save them. But ultimately, I think if that's who the Yankees draw, they always draw a team out of the Central, whether it's the Guardians, the Royals, the Twins, and they handle business. And I think that if these guys got to come to Yankee Stadium for a CS or a DS or whatever it is, it's going to be tough on them.
One thing, the Tigers are lifetime 3-0 against the Yankees. I think they're the only team to ever beat the Yankees 3 times.
Yeah, we owe them from 2012. 2012, that sucked. Jeter got hurt, and that team was loaded. That team had Verlander on it. That team had Scherzer on it, Miguel Cabrera.
Should have won a World Series. They had a
Hunter
couple
on that team.
It shows you how hard it is to win a World Series, even with the most talent. As a Tigers fan, I like the team, but I feel the team needs another big bat. Obviously, Baez has been great. Torres has been a good addition. I just feel this team could use another big bat in that lineup because Riley Green and Torkelson are good, but I just don't know if they've got enough firepower to beat the Yankees in a best-of-3 or a best-of-5 or even a best-of-7 series.
Yeah, Torrey Hunter was on the team the next year. They had Austin Jackson. They had Prince Fielder. They had Delman Young.
Miguel Cabrera.
Yeah, Miggy, of course. Alex Avila. Johnny Peralta. They had a good team, man. They had a good team. But we'll see what this baby Tigers team grows up into and turns into this year.
I like how they've built the team the right way, but I do think they need to add another big bat before the trade deadline. And before we wrap this up, Keith, just quick thoughts on the Yankees road trip to LA this week against the Angels, and then the World Series champion Dodgers this weekend.
Yeah, there's a few Cali guys on this team. Judge, Stanton. Well, Stanton's not with the team. I don't think he's in Tampa. Cole. I think they love going out to Cali. This is their last West Coast trip. They got to handle business against the Angels and then, take on the Dodgers. And when they take on the Dodgers, it's lights, camera, action. That's going to be a packed series. And the Dodgers are kind of hurting right now. They're without some of their starting pitchers right now, and they're not necessarily winning right now. So got them right where you want them. Got to handle business, take 2 out of 3, maybe even sweep. I'm looking forward to it. You got to get a little bit of revenge because it still stings. I would go out to the series, but I can't face Dodger Stadium after last year.
You've been out to Dodger Stadium before, Keith?
Oh, yeah, a bunch. I think I've been to Dodger Stadium as much as I've been to Citi Field in Queens. Because I went to multiple series. I went in 2018. I went in 2019. I went to the All-Star game. So I had been in there like 9 times. I don't know if I've been to Citi Field 9 times.
Obviously, Yankee Stadium's your favorite stadium, being a New York fan, but where would you rank Dodger Stadium up there in terms of stadiums?
Oh, it's up there, especially after they remodeled it. For 2020, they were supposed to have the All-Star game there, and then COVID hit, so it gave them some extra time, and they remodeled the whole back area. They have the highest attendance in the sport. Dodger Stadium, I call it the theme park of ballparks. It's Disneyland for baseball. The history in there, there's so many different spots in there, and it still has some of that old feel in there. So yeah, it's up there. I would say Dodger Stadium is maybe even top 5.
I was in Toronto a couple of weeks ago. They renovated the Rogers Center, but it still feels like a stadium that was built in the 80s, and they don't have any statues or any history like Yankee Stadium or these other stadiums, and it's really a shame. They have a great fan base down there, and it would be nice for them to make it more. It still doesn't feel, it feels like a multi-purpose stadium, which it's no longer is. It's just not the same. And to me, my favorite ballpark I've been to so far, I would say PNC Park and Fenway Park in Boston.
Yeah, I've been to Pittsburgh, never to Boston.
Fenway is a must. I almost got hit in the head with a baseball on the Green Monster. So if you go up the Green Monster, make sure you pay attention during batting practice.
For sure.
Hey, Keith, before we wrap this up, can you just tell us about the latest with WFAN Sports Radio 66 in New York and your upcoming shows, and how can my audience connect with you on social media and your website?
Yeah, a lot of Knicks conversation going on as the New York Knicks are in the Eastern Conference Finals for the first time in 24 years. It never happened. So tonight, the Knicks play. I'll be on at 7 tonight. I'll be on 7 the next 3 nights tonight, Wednesday and Thursday. I'll have 2-hour shows the next 2 nights because I lead into Yankees baseball. But then Thursday, when the Yankees travel, I'll get the full 5-hour vehicle. And I talk about the Knicks. I'm going to talk about the Mets, of course, talk about the Yankees and anything else that pops up in the sports world, taking calls, talking to fans. it's a good time to be a sports fan in New York with, the Yankees being in first place, the Mets battling for first place, and the Knicks being, in the Eastern Conference Finals. So, yeah, WFAN 1019 FM, 660 AM, streaming on the free Odyssey app. And if you just follow me on Twitter, on my YouTube channel, I stream all of my shows now. I'm working on getting better audio, but I'm putting a live video component on my shows now. So, yeah, it's not hard to find me.
Congratulations on your website and your merchandise as well.
Yeah, just something that was needed at this juncture. I'm like, getting into more business and building my own personal brand outside of, my day job or my check. And I just have hit the point where I have enough followers and enough of a name and influence where having an LLC, having a website, having my own official merch and my own YouTube channel and more things to come. All of that just makes sense now. You got to enterprise, it. You've built your own brand on your own. It's something that they can't take away from you, and you got to pour into it every day and every week.
Love it. I'm going to put you on the spot here before we go. Knicks, Pacers, who wins that series?
I still think the Pacers win it. Yeah. If the Knicks win tonight, that could swing it. But I still think the Pacers win it in 6 or 7. But I originally said Knicks in 6. They blew that first game. They were terrible in the second game, and it took everything for them to win the third game. I think the Pacers still have command. If the Pacers win tonight, then the Knicks are facing an elimination. So it could be Pacers in 5 and 6. But if the Knicks win tonight, this series is going to go 7. It could be Pacers in 7. It could be Knicks in 7.
Much respect from the Knicks because I'm a Pistons fan, and we made the Knicks earn that 6-game series. But
oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, the Pistons are back, and I
got a ton of respect for the Pistons. They played them tough. Yep.
Tough. And they're back, and I'm so happy because the NBA to me is better when Detroit's better. But hey, Keith, I'm going to let you go, but I want to say thank you so much for coming on here today, and hopefully we can have you back on again in the future as well.
Yeah, you're super supportive. I always see your comments and things, and you reached out. I found the time, and I'm always trying to help the next guy out. So thanks for having me. Good luck with this. Tag me, share it everywhere, and hopefully I can amplify with my following.
Continued success as well, Keith, and you're one of the good guys, and hopefully one day we'll see you at a ballpark.
Yeah, see you then. Thanks, Chris.
Keith. Thank you. All right, guys, that concludes Season 10, Episode 48, Overall 543 of Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show, brought to you by Barry Cullen Chevrolet Dealership here in Guelph. Before we wrap up this show, guys, I'm going to play a little video clip I did about a week and a half ago at Second City Comedy Stage in Toronto, and I did an interview with stand-up comedian and one of my friends, Mary Kennedy. This is Chris Palme live at Second City here in Toronto. I have a special guest here tonight. Her name is stand-up comedian Mary Kennedy. And Mary, just thoughts on performing this weekend at Second City here in Toronto.
It's been, I get a little mic. It has been an absolute dream here performing at Second City. My director, Charlene, and I performed here. Our friend Matt did a stand-up. I mean, it's such a great space. And we're in the John Candy Box Theater. I mean, I performed on the same stage as Eugene Levy, Martin Short, John Candy. I mean, I'm living a dream, and we love Toronto. We love the people of Toronto and Canada. And it's like, we feel like we've come home a little bit. It's, one person shows an hour on stage. We did two shows. So that's 2 hours where it's just me and the audience. I was so lucky to have Matt Ardill and Charlene Ward open for me. But this is like an icon. Like I've, there used to be Second City in LA, and it's in Toronto now, and Chicago and New York. And the fact as a performer, I get to perform here. And Mark was a great tech guy. I mean, it's been heaven. We don't want to leave, actually. I might be sleeping here tonight. I don't know.
What makes Toronto such a great comedy city, and especially Canada as well?
I think Toronto and Canada, they understand comedy. I mean, if like SCTV was here, Kids in the Hall. I just think they understand humor, and they are such a good audience. I mean, they just get it. Some cities you go to, they don't necessarily understand the humor. I mean, I'm originally from Boston, so I think they get it. And they're just very welcoming and so nice. That it's a joy to perform here, and they really take pride in live performance. I really feel they love live performance.
Mary, can you tell us about some of your upcoming shows?
Yes, I'm so excited you asked that question. So Hail Mary, None of the Grace, which is a sequel to Midlife Mood Swing that you just saw today, Chris, is going to be at Edinburgh Fringe. Edinburgh Fringe. I'll be able to pronounce that by the time I perform there. We're going to be at Ed Fringe this summer. We start previews July 29th and we go through August 24th. And we will be doing 26 shows. And Charlene Ward is coming, who's my director, and we'll be also probably performing in some other things as well. So yes, we're off to Scotland and I can't wait. That's our next big deal.
Any more shows coming up this summer or in the fall back here in the Toronto area?
Not yet, but we are planning our fall and our spring. We're definitely going to be doing an East Coast tour of the Boston area, Maine, New Hampshire, all over there. I got to go see my family. But yeah, we're definitely, and we might be back in New York. So there's a lot coming up. You just got to check me out at M Kennedy Comedy on Facebook or Instagram. And Chris knows where I am. He always knows where I am.
And can you tell us about your next podcast show?
Oh, yes. My next podcast show, Order Up. Is that what we're talking about? Yeah, Order Up, starring Matt Ardill, Kelly Zemnikas, Carrie Aim, and me. We are going to be premiering our 10th season. Can you believe it? On, anywhere you can get a podcast, we will be premiering that in June. And it's very controversial.
Great topic. And I'm going to put you on the spot with this last question.
Okay.
Who wins tomorrow, the Maple Leafs or the Florida Panthers?
Oh, that's tough because my husband's originally from Florida, Buffalo to Florida. I'm going to say the Maple Leafs because I like maple syrup. Maple Leafs all the way, everybody.
What do you see for a score? 2-1?
Oh, geez, you're asking me to do a score. You realize I was a theater major. That's my brother, really. Maple Leafs 3-1. Is that real
That's
score?
realistic. 3-1.
Yeah.
And finally, where can my audience find you on your website and the best way of contacting you?
So the best place to find me is Facebook or Instagram or even TikTok. And Facebook and Instagram is M Kennedy Comedy and TikTok is Mary.Kennedy08.
Well, Mary, I want to say thank you for this interview. I almost consider you not just a friend, but I also consider you Canadian, and make sure you come back here again. And I was glad this worked out this weekend with baseball and your comedy here at Second City, which is at 110 Harbor Street here in Toronto. I highly recommend Second City and seeing Mary Kennedy as well perform. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
That was stand-up comedian Mary Kennedy, who was just in Toronto at Second City a couple weeks ago. So check out Mary Kennedy on social media, or if you're in the LA area, she performs a lot of stand-up comedy out in Los Angeles, and she'll be out in Edinburgh, Scotland for her tour coming up very soon. So just go and check Mary Kennedy out. She's very funny in person or on live stream as well. So again, and that was courtesy of my YouTube channel, Chris Palme Live with CDP Sports Talk. Go on YouTube, hit the subscribe, hit the like notification, and I just reached over 412,000 views there as well. I have another announcement too, guys. I have another show coming up tomorrow on Wednesday, May 28th. At 12 p.m. Eastern with my special guest. Her name is Shay Marville. She is a podcast talk show host of Let's Talk. It is one of the top podcast shows here in Canada. And she's also a strategist, a media founder, and a life and mindset coach as well. So Shay Marville will be on Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show Wednesday, May 28th at 12 p.m. Eastern. And then I'm working on some more guests next week. So stay tuned to my social media pages for that. And the Small Talk podcast with Marlene Sharp and myself, a monthly entertainment podcast show, will be back. We just took a little bit of a hiatus here in May. We will be back in June with Marlene and myself and a new guest as well. And before we wrap up the show, guys, as Barry Cullen Chevrolet is one of my main sponsors here, at Barry Cullen Chevrolet dealership right now here in Guelph. Check out a 2025 Trax 1RS lease from $158 biweekly. That's like $79 weekly at 5.9% for 5.9% financing for 24 months with $2,800 down payment on an ultra low kilometer lease. More details available at barrycullen.com or visit the dealership at Barry Cullen Chevrolet dealership is located at 905 Woodlawn Road West in the Guelph Auto Mall, and tell them that Chris Palme sent you as well. And as we wrap up this show, guys, if you'd like a personalized video message from yours truly, check me out on cameo.com/Chris Palme, and I'd be happy to do a personalized video, birthday wishes, pep talk, greetings. If you'd like to talk sports or ask me questions, check me out on cameo.com, type in Chris Palme, and book your Cameo today, and look forward to doing a video for you. And as we finish this show up, guys, you can also follow me on Blue Sky Social, which is like what X used to be when they changed it to Twitter, at Live with CDP 19 on Blue Sky Social, if you'd like to follow me there as well. If you're looking to adopt a pet, check out the Cambridge and District Humane Society at 1650 Dunbar Road in Cambridge, Ontario. Telephone number 519-623-7722, extension 0, or visit their website, cambridgehumanesociety.org, or the animals that are up for adoption. Their profiles are on there. Cats for adoption, dogs for adoption, bunny rabbits. Just go on and check them out. They do a wonderful job with taking care of our homeless furry friends and getting them into forever homes with good families and homes. And if you're also looking to be a volunteer, like I do twice a week at the Cambridge District Humane Society, go on their website, cambridgehumanesociety.org, and fill out a volunteer application form as well. And right now at the Cambridge District Humane Society, they're looking for dog food, cat food, puppy food, cat litter, garbage bags, whatever you can donate. The Cambridge District Humane Society would greatly appreciate it, as they go through a lot looking after the cats, the dogs, the bunny rabbits, and all the pets that come down to their shelter. And again, they're located at 1650 Dunbar Road in Cambridge. It's just right across from the Cambridge Center. And any pet that you're looking to adopt, you need to call them and book an appointment with them at 519-623-7722, extension 0 as well. Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show, again, is live streamed on these platforms: YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, LinkedIn, and now available on Instagram. And hopefully one day we will get this show on TikTok as well. Hopefully StreamYard will partner up with TikTok. Also, guys, you guys can check out my website, beacons.ai/Chris D. Palme, all my social media sites, all my digital media work, and my WordPress site that I do articles for is on there as well. I just wrote a game night story for the Buffalo Bandits 15-6 win over Saskatchewan to win their third consecutive championship. So check my website, beacons.ai/Chris D. Palme, and you can go to my WordPress site through that site as well, or listen to past episodes of Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show through there as well. Again, Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show is brought to you by Barry Cullen Chevrolet dealership at 905 Woodlawn Road West in the Guelph Auto Mall. Barry Cullen Chevrolet has been a proud sponsor of Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show for the last 2.5 years. And also, if you're a business out there looking to get your business advertised out there, consider CDP Media Productions Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show. This show is being listened to 45 countries around the world, and I do have over 412,000 plus views on my YouTube channel. So please email me at cpalme19@gmail.com. My prices are reasonable and fair compared to traditional radio stations, and I can get you out to more platforms than a traditional radio station. So if you're looking to advertise, please look at Chris Palme, cpalme19@gmail.com, or just DM me on my social media pages, and I look forward to working with you in the future. Speaking of TikTok, I am a content creator there. You guys can check me out there at Chris Pame on TikTok. StreamYard is the official live stream provider of Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show. If you're into webinars or podcasting, check out StreamYard.com. They have basic free plans, paid professional plans like I do. And if you're a business that does a lot of webinars or live streaming, go to StreamYard.com and contact their sales department. And I have been with StreamYard for now over 4 years, and I highly recommend them. Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show. The audio version is available on these platforms: iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, Spotify for podcasters, Apple Podcasts, Breaker, Pocket Casts, Spotify, Castbox, LinkedIn, Pandora, Tuned In, YouTube Music, and Good Pods. And please remember to hit follow and subscribe to Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show on these audio platforms. Finally, guys, you can email Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show at cpame19@gmail.com. Any comments, questions, suggestions, feedback, positive or negative, would be greatly appreciated. And if you really like this talk show and my media work on all these social media platforms, you can tip me on PayPal at cpame19@gmail.com if you wish to tip the host through PayPal, cpame19@gmail.com. And finally, guys, you can follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Threads, Blue Sky, Instagram, everywhere on social media except for Snapchat. And also consider subscribing to my YouTube channel. Go to Chris Pame Live with CDP Talk Show. Hit the subscribe and like notification as well. And I want to say thank you to my 619 subscribers and 412,000 viewers on my YouTube channel as well. And before we wrap up the show, guys, again, I want to say thank you to my guest today, Jennifer Alvarado, a country recording artist superstar, and Keith McPherson, a radio host and radio personality with WFAN 66 Sports Radio in New York City, for coming on here today. And I have a comment, Bob. Bob was watching this through YouTube. Let's go Yankees. Well, Bob, I want to say thank you for watching this show with Keith McPherson. And the Yankees have quite a ball team as well. I'm a Tigers fan, so I'm looking forward to hopefully seeing the Tigers and Yankees maybe play in the divisional series or maybe the ALCS this year. But good luck to the New York Yankees. And I want to say thank you to Keith McPherson again for coming on here today, and Jennifer Alvarado, who came on earlier as well. Just give me a little bit of time tonight, guys, and I will have both of these episodes downloaded to video, audio, and some reels and clips in case you missed both of these shows today as well. And before we wrap this up, guys, we have some Stanley Cup action tonight. We have Dallas at Edmonton in Game 4 at 8 o'clock tonight. The Oilers are in control of that series 2-1. Oilers win tonight. They'll be up 3-1 going back to Dallas. But if Dallas can win Game 4 tonight on the road, the series will be back to 2-2 with Dallas having home ice advantage again for the rest of that series. So that's a huge game tonight at 8 o'clock. And then we got the NBA playoffs, East Finals tonight. Keith McPherson's New York Knicks. Actually, Keith is a Brooklyn Nets fan, but the New York Knicks are in action tonight against the Indiana Pacers. Knicks coming off a big Game 3 win. Pacers lead the series 2-1, so the Knicks are going to try to even up that series at 2-2 before going back to Madison Square Gardens. The Knicks are 3-5 at Madison Square Garden in this playoff run, but they're 6-1 on the road. So based on their road record, it looks like the Knicks have a very good chance of evening up the series tonight. But I expect Indiana is going to learn from that Game 3 loss. Indiana had a 20-point lead in that game, and the Knicks came back. But credit to the New York Knicks. This team just keeps getting the job done, and it's been a long time since the Knicks have even been to the East Finals. I think it's been, 25 years? And that road win in Indiana, I believe, was their first ever playoff road win at the Indiana Pacers. But I expect both games to be good as well. And that is about it for tonight's shows. Again, thank you to Jennifer Alvarado, country artist, recording star, for coming on, and Keith McPherson from Sports Radio 66 WFAN in New York for coming on here tonight. And my next show is going to be tomorrow, Wednesday, May 28th at 12 o'clock, again with my special guest, Shay. Marville. She is the podcast talk show host of her own show, Let's Talk Podcast. It's one of the top 6 podcast shows in Canada. And she's also a strategist, a media founder, and a life and mindset coach as well. And that is about it, guys. I hope everybody enjoys your NHL playoffs tonight, NBA playoffs, and the Tigers tonight are back at home at Comerica Park at 6:40, take on the Giants. The Tigers have won their last 2 games, 35-20. They're now 5 games ahead of the Cleveland Guardians in the AL Central. So Tigers baseball back tonight at 6:40 against those San Francisco Giants. I hope everybody has a great evening, and we'll see you back here tomorrow at 12 p.m. Eastern, 9 on the West Coast, with special guest Shay Marville. Thank you to Keith McPherson, Jennifer Alvarado, and to Barry Cullen Chevrolet for being a big part of this show as a sponsor as well. Have a great night, everybody.